go. It should be live.
Yep. Looks like it's live.
I'll be right there. Just hold on, everybody. I'm sure there's 10. My people don't come on till after, Aaron. So don't.
That's all right.
Okay.
I know I was getting here early.
I know.
And that's a first probably for comedians to show up early, but
I don't know how come. Here we are. We are live. And I'm going to make sure it says it's only I can see it, but you can see it. The internet's acting weird today. I think that Zuckerberg probably has a hangover because everything's acting wonky today.
it could be that or the South is frozen so bad it's messed up communications.
Yes, you just want to be careful when the South isn't feeling it. Things are going to go very wrong.
Yeah. Yes, it does.
Very wrong. I want to introduce to you who are watching today on Comic Spot. I want to introduce our guest over there in that amazing square. He makes mine look like it's homemade because it is. Today we have Aaron Duspiva. Is that how you pronounce it?
Perfect.
Awesome. He's in blue and orange. It's probably some kind of sports color. Boise State. Oh my Lord Almighty. And he's got a bald head and he's from Idaho.
And I'm in Michigan, so I'll go figure that one out.
And he's drinking vitamin water.
Yep, gotta stay healthy during the cold time.
And you're talking into like a 1940s Larry King type microphone.
Yes, you're on the air, New York City. No, this is actually a blue microphone with a spit cover. So
love it. So let me introduce Aaron Duspiva to you folks today. His interview bio, which he sent me, I will read to you, and I will quote it, lest I should be accused of stealing his words. It's a crazy business. That's all I'm going to say. We have to be careful not to steal each other's lines.
Right.
Here we go. Aaron, Aaron, is new to stand-up comedy. And he's honest too, you guys. Most people get on here and say that they've killed, and they won't say how long they've been in the business. Aaron is new to stand-up comedy, but already making waves with his 2 Zoom shows. Oh, we got to hear about this. This Just In News Comedy Club, like it says on the background over there, this Just In News Comedy Club and Bombing Run. Can't wait to hear about this. He's also the owner, writer, producer for the YouTube channel, This Just In News, a new satire puppet sketch channel. How's that for a great guest? Oh my God, we got questions to ask. Welcome to Comic Spot. Woo, Aaron.
Thank you for having me on. Thank you for having me on.
Oh my God, I'm so glad you're here. You got quite the personality and smile. You got the whole package. What don't you have that comedy needs?
$1 million? I don't know. What does comedians need? Except more exposure. I don't know.
Yeah, on Zoom you can have exposure from the waist down.
Yes, unless you got a real wide room or something. Yes, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Yes, you got to have a wide angle lens too. So I want to know everything there is about you, and then we'll get up to the whole, you got a YouTube channel and you 2 Zoom shows, and you're the writer and creator of TJIN. Talk to me about Aaron Duspiva growing up. What was your childhood like for somebody as funny as you?
Well, I grew up on a farm out in Idaho, about 50 miles west of Boise. And we had a half mile to the nearest neighbor. I mean, literally you could scream and yell. And that was a perfect place for my parents to discipline us because no one could ever hear us cry. That's honest. It was just growing up on a farm, it was hard work. I started work when I was 6, no child labor laws. Don't get him in trouble. It was on the farm, so it's technically fine. But it was a lot of fun. You kind of, just you had a lot of time to think and be creative. And I drew a lot. I was thinking of funny things to do. Drew a lot of cartoons as a kid.
No way.
Yeah, and got in general basic trouble when I wanted to, because I was a teenager at one point too. So I got in trouble. Can't say I didn't. It
Wait,
was
you
fun.
were a teenager too?
Yeah, I went through that awkward stage of having a ton of zits and not getting any girls to like me and just being awkward looking. And yeah, I was like, in my school, I was hanging around about three other people. I was a geek. So I wasn't part of the jocks or the popular kids. I was like the, fourth class, person. I know that sounds wrong, but that's how it felt like it. When you're a teenager, you're like, oh man, everything's gone, man. It's not for me. It's like, yeah. So that was, but I was in 4-H too, and I not only did I raise pigs, pigs were part of it, but I never did that great in pigs. But I did a lot of miscellaneous projects. In fact, that got me several trips got me a trip to Chicago for National 4-H Congress. I did teen leadership that got me to Washington, D.C. Teen Conference. I did a lot of things in 4-H. And it helped me quite a bit learning public speaking and that. And I try to lean back on that public speaking, even though so many, well, decades ago, I don't want to say that, but I'm 50 today, or 50 as of February 9th. So it doesn't
What's it
seem
like
that long
speaking
ago.
to pigs?
What's that?
What's it like speaking to pigs?
Uh, well, it's pretty easy. Usually, I talk to them like I talk to my dogs. They just go, "Hey, pig, 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 pig." It's easy to talk to pigs. Pigs are actually easier than talking to humans sometimes. I swear that was so much easier.
They get less offended.
Yes, they do. That's exactly right.
We need pigs in the audience right now.
You know, I'm not. I don't think you're too far off on being right on that one. There's some people, whatever. But yeah, a few pigs. Pigs are pretty smart. But I grew up out there, and I moved out here to Michigan in 1999 because of a relationship that ultimately didn't work out. But I found someone, and we've been married as of February 21st, 6 years. So
Wow.
kind of got a late start, but you know what? Found the love of my life. She's a wonderful lady, and I love her to death.
Oh, that's so great. What's her first name?
Tina.
How'd you meet her?
We met online on a Craigslist ad.
No
I know
way.
people go Craigslist. I'm like, yeah, I know. Look, there is other things that don't work, but Craigslist worked for us. And
What was the ad? Because I'll go post one.
I think they've eliminated those meeting people online ads on Craigslist. I think that's pretty much gone. It was a fun ad. It was just looking for friends at the time, and we went from friends to more than that. But she's a wonderful lady, and she has a good sense of humor, and she says I don't. So I know I got the right lady.
Oh, she's going to keep you grounded.
Yes, pretty much. Yeah. Oh, I keep her grounded. I've been called the fun governor because I don't let her go to the casinos as much as she wants to.
She likes the casinos, huh?
Yeah, I don't like them because they just take my money. I've never walked out too many times where I had money back in my pocket. Maybe twice, and that was it. But she's a wonderful lady. She puts up with me well.
Yes. Yeah, Vegas, the tourists, they come here for the loose sluts and the loose slots.
And they'll both break you every day.
There
Yeah.
you go.
As close as I lived to Las Vegas, I never ventured out there because I was like, yeah, you know what? I'll buy a scratch off ticket before I go spend all the money in Vegas.
That's a good idea. Save on the hotel, the food, and botulism.
There you go.
I like all the hooker trading cards all over the cement here. When I'm having a slow week, I'll pick them up and put my cards down.
Oh man. People call you, what do you charge? Well, for about 5 minutes, I'll do 50, I'll do five, for 5 minutes worth of stand up, I'll do yeah, $50. Yeah.
Do you want to stand up or lay down?
Yeah. If I have to do it, lay it down to 100.
Cash up front, don't not on the dresser.
That's right.
Well, talk to me about you. You went from high school to marriage pretty fast. What,
Um,
when did people find out you were funny in 4-H?
um, I actually did some plays in junior high and high school, just a little bit. I was drama class, but I never liked doing drama per se. I did like, I can't remember the name of the play in junior high, but I was picked on all the way through high school. From first grade all the way till about junior high school, I was picked on. But that eighth grade play, I had all the lines. I had to memorize this whole little play book of all these lines, and I memorized it. I don't even know how I did it, but it was like the last day of school, and it really kicked off, and everybody was liking me that day after all being picked on all the way through. Oh, you like me that day. Great. And then the ninth grade started, and it started all over again. But I like doing those plays, and in drama class in high school, I actually spent a little time doing what they do, drama competitions. And I'd write up stories. I never had too many people to work with, so I did like one man acts. So I wrote about an invisible cat, wrote a story about that, did a one man act about that. I'm trying to think what else I did. There was something else about a talking dog. I did a couple little acts like that. I liked doing that stuff. And I thought it was funny. I mean, I've done I did a Popeye play back in high school too. And I was Popeye. Oh, scooby-doo-doo. I don't know. I can't say all the words. I can't remember. I'm nervous.
When other people do sketches, and when they were doing sketches in high school, I was in my room with my Etch-a-Sketch. Like, I don't like that picture.
I could never make the Etch-a-Sketch work for me. But it was kind of fun doing that stuff. And then I learned how to draw, and I'm actually, my job is I draw mechanical piping for a mechanical contractor. I've been drawing since 1991. So I've been drawing for 30 years as of June. But on the kind of the side point of that is I needed some kind of fun, and I'd taken some comedy classes. I took one, it went real good, and then work got in the way, couldn't do much else. Tried another one, that didn't go so good. I'll keep it to that.
We've all had them.
Yeah, I'm going to keep it to that. And then I watched that Amazon show. I'm sure everybody knows what I'm talking about. Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. And yes. I'm like, okay, so they made it look real easy. Some lady just walks off the street, starts talking her brains out, and everybody finds her funny. Well, I know better than that. Yep. But it got me back to thinking about writing. So right before the pandemic hit, I was ready to go back out to the bars here in Michigan, and then everything closed down. And I'm like, great, what am I going to do? And there was a guy with a 30-day writing challenge. I did that. He's out in California. He doesn't run it right now, so I'm not going to plug him. And then I just started doing a feedback mic with somebody else, and just kept working at it. And I'm still a work in progress. I mean, I've been at it steady for a year plus now. I'm still writing like 5 jokes a day. I'm still working on my material, my setup, punches, and my voice of comedy. That everybody says it takes time to find your voice, and I keep looking in the lost and found, and I can't find it. But I'm getting there. I'm better than I was a year ago. That's what I'm going to say. So.
I'm 7 years in.
Awesome.
And I had comedy laryngitis until about a year ago. So I finally found my voice, and not everybody likes it.
Well, that's the other thing too, is that people's opinions are like assholes. And I hope that's okay to say. Everybody's got one. So you kind of got
assholes.
I work in construction. I know what an asshole looks like. I have them around me all the day long. That's how it is. But what it gets down to is I like being on the people I know now. I consider a lot of these people I've met through doing the comedy as my friends, and they are my friends. And I literally will do pretty much anything I can to help them out, because if they've helped me, I'll help you. That's kind of the way I've been. And, I like just being creative and all that. And it kind of ties back into the channel too. So.
Well, talk to me about your channel.
Okay, so this just in news. Yes, it's a little crazy. I didn't bring out the puppets. I should have. I won't go off running off for them right now. So it started out as I got burned out on a job. I worked like 6 days a week, or 7 days a week, and 6 days a week was double shift. So after about 4 months of that, I was burned out, and they sent me to another project. I was like, whew. And I was looking through what they call BlackBerry Messenger channels. Yes, I know. Doesn't exist anymore, but it was a social media thing that BlackBerry was trying out on their Messenger. And it was really simple. You got 400 characters now. People don't think about characters when they're writing jokes. You think tight jokes. Try to write a new satire story with 400 characters. It's not easy. And I got started in it because I was bored and wanted to be creative. So I started doing that. And the next thing I knew, I had me and 3 other people writing on it. One of them was my editor. We were posting like 3 times a day on it. And eventually it got back down just to me because everybody else had other things to do. And I got up to 120,000 followers. Yes, mostly from Indonesia, but I didn't care. And then I thought, why don't I take this to the next level? And so I had some puppets made by a company called Ruppets.com. She's an amazing lady out in West Michigan. And I started that out, and one of them looks like me. And then I have a few other characters I have. And I just started doing new satire with them. I stick myself in them because it's easy to stick my head in there and just, be a character myself. But it's fun that way. I like doing the new satire because it's not real news. I try to stay away from all that kind of other stuff. I make up stuff, and it's like totally things that I came up with as a kid. It's just kind of like, yeah, this sounds stupid, but it's so funny to me. I think someone else is going to find it funny.
So I'm the type of person that doesn't go and snoop on you before I interview, but now that I've fallen in love with you, is Tina
Aw.
around? I
Tina? I don't know where she's at.
I just want her to know I've fallen in love with you, and and I'll be going to your TJIN.
Yeah, if you just go to youtube.com/c/this Justin News, look for the logo. You know you found me when you found that logo. And my main anchor is Dave Weirdo. He's the one that looks like me. He's my ghostwriter name too. That's how I started out on that BlackBerry channel thing. Was I needed a ghostwriter name. I didn't want to put my name out on there. So Dave Weirdo's the ghostwriter name. I have a guy that looks like a giant eyeball. He's the all-seeing orb. He's the eyewitness news reporter. Excuse me. I have a waffle character now that I'm going to use for different things. It's kind of built for my sister's business too, but I'm using him too. I got Elvis.
What kind of business is it where you have to have a waffle?
She is actually out in Idaho. I'm plugging my sister right now. My sister, she owns a dessert company called Waffle Squared.
You just got your wife and your sister.
I know. No. I am not that way. Sorry. No.
He's
no.
from Idaho.
No. Anyways, no, my sister's out in Idaho. She has a company called Waffle Squared. It's like a dessert waffle kind of company. And she's working on a food truck right now, and I'm going to help her do some promotional videos with the waffle. So it's kind of, I don't think there's many other waffle puppets out there. So I think that's kind of cool. I'm kind of using him as a flip flopper kind of character. He hasn't done much yet, but he's going to do more in the future.
I'm just punny enough that I got that before you even explained it. I knew.
Yeah, puns are okay up to a point.
Yes. I like throwing one in just to see people's eyes roll.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to go away.
No, they're not going to go.
Our freedom of speech, that's all we're going to have left.
Actually, my editor for my BlackBerry channel, she had a channel called Puntastic. She could pun you to death. I mean, she was so good at it. Oh my gosh, I thought she was amazing character. She was an amazing person as an editor and as a wordsmith. She was amazing.
I love wordsmiths and punsters. They have competitions for that.
Oh, yes, they do.
Yeah. So you have the TJIN. Now talk to me about your 2 shows you do on Zoom. I've never come to one of them. Are these
Well,
mics or shows, or are they mics that you're running as shows, or shows you're running as mics?
well, they are. This Justin News Comedy Club started out as because there was a cancellation of a family thing event. And I thought, well, I'll put on a comedy show and people will show up. The family didn't show up. But I've done them on Zoom and I used to put on Facebook Live, but I kind of stopped that. They all get edited and put it on my YouTube channel. But it's a Zoom show. It's not an open mic. It's a Zoom show. So it's all respectful. People can show up in the Zoom room. I'm more than happy to have you in the Zoom room. You ask me for the link or the comedians, they'll let you in. And it's an hour's worth of 6 comics. Count them 6. I can count. And it's a fun time. I'm MC. I have a co-host that helps me run the show to make it look like real smooth production. I always put a sketch intro with the puppets in the front and give everybody their credits and everything. And then I post it on my YouTube channel. And even for the comedians that go on my show, I cut them their sets so they can use them for festivals or, for whatever thing else, like someone needs, hey, I need to see your set. They give them to them. In fact, I had a comedian that said, yes, I got a live show from your clip. And I'm like, well, you're welcome. It's all yours. I just cut your clip, but you're welcome. But that's that show. The other show, it was a crazy idea. Bombing Run was an idea in my head. And I said, we all bomb. Comedians bomb constantly. And I had this going through my head and it never stopped. And I have an intro for it. I'll show you later off the air. But basically I take 3 comedians. I have them all compete. They do 5-minute sets with a mysterious judge who's deciding who's going to be the Joker Ace, second place, and third place. Joker Aces get to be my middler for my Saturday show. So it's kind of like what do you call it? Not introductory.
It's like a stepping stone.
It's a stepping stone. Yes, it's like a stepping stone. It's like to see, all right, did you hit enough? Because the judge is looking for, and basically what the judges are looking for, since we've been on Zoom, is your setup punch and also your presence. I mean, if you're on your phone and you're literally like this on your phone and all I can see is your nose hairs, it doesn't make for a good show. It really doesn't. We've been on Zoom since the beginning of time now, apparently. So we all should know how to do this. It's real simple to do. Even on your phone, everybody can do it right. Is it easy? Sometimes it's not, but if you get working at it, you can always get better. And that's kind of my whole idea is if you didn't win, you get to come back on my show and do it again because my judges always change. And the one thing about my judges, no one knows who they are. No one. I keep them under secret lock and key. If they get found out, I have to put them in the witness protection program, and that costs a lot of money.
Is Howie Mandel one of them?
No, you know what? If Howie Mandel would love to be on my show, I would fall over backwards at this point because that'd be cool. I've had Eric Escobar on my show, on my Saturday show, and he's awesome.
Yes.
But I've never had him be a judge, and I wouldn't tell you if he was or not, but it's fun. I have a co-host on that too, and I keep that comedian's identity secret as well. They help me run the show smoothly. Sergeant at Arms. She does a great job. I'm going to keep it to that. Figure it out. 1 million people out there. You figure out who it is. Great. If you don't, that's good too. So, but it's all for fun. It's all for fun. And people, I love doing it and it's just for fun. And the one thing about that show is nice. It's like a feedback mic too, because my judges will take notes and they give it back. If you want your notes, I give it to you and they'll tell you what worked and what didn't work. And some days I agree with the judge and most times I do. And it's like, yeah, that setup punch didn't work so well. I'm still working on stuff, but I know what makes me laugh. And if I sit there for 2 minutes and I'm waiting for a punch after this long setup, boy, that punch better be really good. Yeah. But usually it isn't that good if I wait 2 minutes for a punch.
Yeah. I get it. I totally get it. So what else do you want to accomplish after the pandemic before you kick the bucket, provided you're gonna die? You might not, you might be one of them. I
I think I will. Well, my great grandma lived to be 101, so I think I have her genes in me. I would like to, once the pandemic's over, be out on the get on the stage and actually perform some of this stuff. Maybe take Bombing Run on stage too. I think that'd be kind of a fun show live. But I think Zoom
that would
comedy
be
is
fun
gonna.
to take around the country.
I think so. But I think Zoom comedy is kind of going to be here to stay. To be honest with you, I've met so many people. I've performed in England from here. It's kind of like my work. I haven't set foot on a lot of job sites, and I've worked in Tennessee, I've worked in Alabama, I've worked in DC, and I haven't moved a foot from Michigan. So I kind of look at Zoom comedy the same way. There's so many different connections and so many different people you meet. I mean, there's a Tokyo mic, which I haven't done yet, and I want to do. But in the future, I want to expand my, horizons, be a better stand-up comedian, of course, and get more people involved in my channel. I do sketch comedy. I've actually had people help write some stuff, so I like to get them more involved and just have more fun with all this stuff. I figure that's half the battle. Work is just to survive, but having fun and spreading some love and joy, that means a lot to me. Spreading the laughs, that's what's life's about. If you're all worried about money, forget it. Money will come later.
Yes, I agree.
So that's basically it.
That's so cool. Well, I should probably get on out of here, but I want to give you the floor to talk about anything in your life you didn't get a chance to talk about, or anything in the world you didn't get to talk about that you hate or love without being too political.
Oh,
Like
that's
I
fine.
I'm not a political person at all. This isn't the place
Oh,
for it.
no. No, I totally understand that. And there's two topics in the world I don't talk about in public, and that's politics and religion. And those two are gone. So
Good man.
yes, I encourage people, if you're a comedian and you're feeling down and out, please reach out to people. I see some of these people right now, they're down. Please reach out to somebody. Also, there's a lot of resources out here. You don't have to necessarily pay for them. There's some that you do cost a little money, but like Hot Breath by Joel Byers, he does a Right 10 Club every 10 o'clock at every weekday and every weekend. And it's kind of fun. You take a joke, you take a random word, and you write a joke in 10 minutes, and he reads them and tells you kind of what worked, what didn't work, or if it worked. That's a great thing to be part of. He has a Hot Breath Pro group you can get part of. That's a membership, so that costs some money. The other fun thing to do is go look for the Scene Shop. That is another group of people. Jim Hodgson runs it out of Atlanta, Georgia. And it's a fun group. They do like a comedy writing thing on Twitch on Fridays, and it's been a fun thing to do. They take a word, and like in 5 minutes you better write a joke, and we're just working on that. We've worked some sketch comedy bits out where we're just waiting for the pandemic to get done, because there's some web series we've worked on. I can't wait to see them shot and actually put on YouTube. Those are fun things to do. But everybody, please, and I run a feedback mic too. I run a feedback mic on Thursdays. I encourage people to sign up on that on my slotted page. And it's all about feedback. We're all trying to help each other get better. And that's all that matters to me.
Who does the feedback on your feedback mic?
Well, right now it's being co-hosted by me and Bill Douglas. He's a friend of mine out in New Hampshire. He's a very, very funny comic. He's a science teacher, but he is hilarious. I love him to death. And we do that with a special guest. We kind of flip back and forth who invites a guest. And then we have 2 slots available for other people to come in and do their sets. We all give feedback. The whole point is everybody has ideas, and that's part of it. Enjoying ourselves, but also learning from each other, because listening to one person it's not enough for feedback. You need a bunch of people with different perspectives. And the other one too is a comedy mastermind by Siness. I can't think of her last name. I'm so sorry.
Siness
Stevens. I just did that, and she's an amazing person too. That was a fun time. But there's so many resources. Everybody who's veterans and younger people or people newer to comedy, just go check them out. I mean, you might learn something. You might find something interesting. I'm always constantly thinking, and that's where that's why I like being creative, and that's why comedy is so much fun for me because I think of some of the dumbest things, and then I write them out, and I'm like, yeah, this is funny. I'll work out it, and some things that don't work, but it's always fun. So everybody, please go look for some of those resources. They're fun to do. My feedback mics are fun. It only lasts an hour and a half of your time, but we always have a lot of fun.
I'll start getting involved now that I know you and I fell in love with you. And Tina hasn't poked her sword through the screen yet at me.
No, I haven't. Wait a minute, it's got awful quiet. Hold on.
I appreciate you so much for coming on. I'm so glad my people get to know you. You guys, we got to get on his shows, his feedback mic. If you're a comic, if you just love comedy, you got to go and support him on his YouTube. And
Please.
so will you do me a big favor? Because
Yes.
I'm off running to a class. I take a couple classes a day. I'm addicted, okay? So
Okay.
type in the Facebook Messenger all the places you want people to follow or support you, or even people you want to give credit to, or people you want them to support other comics besides yourself. Anywhere you want, because they like you, they'll do what you say.
Awesome. And just a note for the Saturday show, if you want on it, DM me on Facebook, but send me an audition or a video of your set so I can watch it. That's how you get on. I've tried to do it blindly before and I've been burned. So please, if you want to be on the Saturday show, send me a video link. It's PG-13 material. I know people look at me and go, what? It's the way to get on. Clean material will get you farther than dirty any day. So
I love that. I love that. Yeah, I can go clean or dirty once, twice a year. It's fun to do dirty material.
I work in construction, so I'm cussing half the day. So I like to be clean when I'm doing comedy.
That's so cool. I love that. I love that.
Well, thank you for having me on, Linda. Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming on. Now that you're on the same level as Sinbad.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. You've interviewed Sinbad. I'm like, oh my gosh, she's interviewed Sinbad and now she's talking to me. What kind of world am I in?
You're in the top shelf now. I'm telling you. So now that you're on the same level as Sinbad, I'll do my Vanna White here. You get to come on once a month and plug something. So use me.
Okay.
Come back on. Let me meet your wife and your sister. Thank you so much.
Thank you again so much, Linda.
Okay, bye. Miss you already.
Miss you too. Bye.
Bye.